Starting Be'ez Hashem Simon Samach Daled in haGuela, and starts with a brand new thing now. Isa b'Yalkut Shimoni, Remes Taf Mem Gimel. Yalkut Shimoni says like this. It's on Nachmu Ami, on the famous words of Yeshaya and Havi. Comfort ye my people, right? So Muva b'Sefer Rosh David me'arav Chida Azal. It's quoted by the Chida. La'asid lava yomer HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'Neviim. When it comes time for the Geula, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to say to the Neviim, L'chu faistu es Knesset Yisrael. Go and comfort the Jewish people. Miyad miskansim kol Neviim v'holchim etzla. All the Neviim are going to come to go to the Jewish people. V'hi omeres lohem eich tenachamuni hevel. How could you just comfort me with empty words? U'tshuvosehem nishar mal. And their answers are like a trespass. Basically, they're like something that's not serious. Ad achshav, and here's what they say: Ad achshav oznai muleos min hatochachos shohichachtem oisi. The Jewish people were personifying as a woman. She's saying, she's Knesset Yisrael, feminine, right? So she's saying, until now, you Nevi'im, you all rebuked me, right? My whole ears are full of your rebukes. Now you're coming to comfort me? I don't believe it. And then the Yalkut then goes through a whole list of all the Nevi'im who are going to come. And she's not going to accept it from them. For example, Hosea, the first of the 12 minor Nevi'im, right, comes to be Menachem her. Amar Allah, he says to her, HaKadosh Baruch Hu shlachani etzleich l'nachemech. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent me to you to comfort you. Amar Allah, ma biyodecha. So she said, yeah, what do you want to say? So Amar Allah, Eya Katala Yisrael. Hashem says, I'll be like the dew for Klal Yisrael. The dew, the Gemara in Tainus says, rain and dew. Rain comes only in certain seasons of the year. The dew comes all the time. So Hashem is saying, I'll be like the tal to Yidden, meaning I'll be here for you all the time. So Amra, so she said, Esmo Amarta li Hake Ephraim Sharsham Yavesh Pri Bal Yasun. In other words, you said, Hosea Navi already said bad nevuas, toichachos, and punishments. He said Ephraim will be smitten, and their roots will dry up, and they won't make any fruit. And now you're telling me the opposite of that? What should I believe? Your first words or your second words? That's what she's going to say. So Halach Yoel Lenachma. So Hosea gave up, and Yoel is going to come and try. HaKadosh Baruch Hu shlachani etzleich. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent me to you. What's in your hand? The mountains will drip with wine, whatever, with produce. You'll have a lot of things to eat. It'll be good. Everything will be good. So Amar La, Esmol Amarta.
What's asis?
Asis, I think it's grape juice, wine. I think. No, maybe it's pomegranate juice. Asis Rimoni.
But the point is bitter.
What?
Where's the source?
Yeah.
Where's the source?
Esmol Amarta. Yesterday you said it.
It's not a common word, is it?
No.
I think in English they call it Hapex Lego Man. Hapex Lego means this.
So which one should we believe? The first one or the second one? Leiza Nami, L'Rishon or L'Shniya. Halach Amos, V'chulus, and Amos is going to come and try to say Nechama. Halach Micha is going to come. V'chein. The Kol Echad Amar Nevuasa. Each one of these Nevi'im is going to say his Nevuah b'shlichus Hashem l'nachmon to comfort them. V'lo ya'aminu bohem, and they're not going to believe him. V'yashivu lohem min nevuah acheres she'amru l'teichachtem. Every single Navi, they're going to come up with an answer that same Navi said something else that was bad. Be'ezah namin, which one should we believe? The first or the second? Ad she'amar la li'Avram. Hashem is going to say to Avram, Lech v'nachem es Yerushalayim, go comfort the Yerushalayim. So even Avram is not going to work. They're going to have an answer back for him. If you want to know exactly what the answer is, you have to look there. The Yalkut Shimoni. Halach Yitzchak, Yaakov, Yitzchak and Yaakov are going to try. Halach Moshe Rabbeinu, even Moshe Rabbeinu is not going to get the message across. Miyad Halchu Kulam Livnei Kodesh Baruch Hu V'Yomer. They're all going to come back. All these 10 Nevi'im plus the Avos plus Moshe, all going to come to Hashem and they're going to say, Rebbeinu Shalom, Lo Kibla Mimenu Tanchumin. She didn't accept the comfort from us. Shenemar Aniya Soyara Loi Nuchama. It says in Yeshaya, the Jewish people is called a poor, storming person who doesn't accept comfort. So Amar Allah Kodesh Baruch Hu says to them, Ani v'atem nelich l'nachmo. I and all of you together will go and comfort her. Heve nachmu nachmu ami. That's the pasuk that says in Yeshaya, the famous pasuk, comfort my people.
And Yisrael is for Kisese, right?
It's Haftorah. Re'eh, I think Re'eh. So nachmu nachmu ami yoimer elokechem ad kan. Okay, so v'asar Moreinu Rabbi Yitzchak Abarbanel Pirushav Pirush Kol HaMaimar Azel Lefi Darkei. And Abarbanel explains this whole statement according to his way, this whole medrash according to his pshat. Marna Chidah Zal B'Sifrei Anal Bir Barichus. Also the Chidah explains it at length. Kol Divrei Anavim Ho'ela. He goes through every navi here and explains what they said. Umiyashav Divreim He Shein Stir B'Divreim. He says there's not a contradiction between the rebuke that they said and the comfort they said. When the Vuasim HaKodemis Mefarish Tainus Knesset Yisrael Lahem, and he explains why the Jewish people didn't want to accept that. Ein Sham. But even after all these pirushim that the Abarbanel and the Chidah say, Kasha lahavin divrei Yalkud elu. We still can't understand this Yalkud. V'hu hafla v'pel. It's actually unbelievable. He says, "Tahari kol divreim musavim ala asid." All these things are talking about when the future time comes, when the Geula comes. V'az yu kol Yisrael tzadikim. All the Yidden will be tzadikim at that time. K'mevura b'tois v'siyuma. So the Achar b'yis HaMashiach lo yiyu oid Rishayim b'Yisrael. There won't be any Rishayim after Mashiach comes. V'kulam yashuvu b'tshuva. They're all going to repent. K'masha Amar HaKastu v'shavta ad Hashem Elokecha. You'll do tshuva back to Hashem. If they didn't do tshuva before Eliyahu comes, Eliyahu will make them do tshuva. How could they not believe the Nevi'im, the true Nevi'im, when they come, when they come with the message from Hashem to be menachem them? Even when the fathers, the Avos and Moshe Rabbeinu come, they're still not going to believe them. The question is why? Adrabi, you find if someone doesn't believe in Navi, he's chayav misa b'dei shemayim. Mefurish b'gemara Sanhedrin. Shalafi shaloi hem min hashlish melech Aram. When the melech Aram is in the story of B'dvar Elisha, the story of the four Mitzrayim, in the Haftorah Parshas Mitzorah, it says there were 4 Mitzrayim who were outside the gates, and there was a famine in the city of Shomron, and then the army of Aram was camped outside the walls, and what happened was Elisha said in Nevuah, tomorrow there's going to be plenty of food. Everyone's going to be just have too much food, and nobody could believe him. So the Shalish, the one who guarded the gates, right? When he heard this Nevuah, he laughed at it, and he said it's not going to happen. So what happened was the army of Aram deserted their camp and left over all their food, and the Jews went out and took it, and they had plenty of food, and the Nevuah came true. And it says, it says regarding him, he got trampled by all the people running out to get the food, and he died. That was Mekayim, the words of the Navi, that someone who laughs at the Navi's words gets killed. So how is it possible that all these Nevi'im will come and they'll just not believe them? Even Moshe Rabbeinu, who everyone was going to, it says, everyone will believe in Moshe Rabbeinu. How could they not listen to him? Another kasha is Shahari Yisrael Shebechol Adoyers Roim V'Yoidim Eile Psukei Toichacha Shekulam Nimsaim B'Torah of Nevi'im. He says all these psukim are not new, right? Hosea, Amos, Yoel, they're all written already, right? All these psukim are written. Everybody knows them. So it's not like we're not going to believe, oh yeah, that's not what Hashem said. It's written in the Tanakh already. Go look it up. Right? So everybody knows these psukim. We believe in them. So how could it be that when the Geula comes, shiyu kulam tzadikim, and everyone's tzadikim, all of a sudden lo ya'aminu, they're not going to believe in the neviim because of this problem they have, shiyu yanir kestir, just because it looks like a steer. If it was a steer, it was a steer all along. For 2,000 years, the Jews have been sitting with a steer. They could have answered it up, right? The contradiction between the words of the Nevi'im that they said one time rebuke and one time comfort. This is unbelievable. So you know what he's going to say. He's going to say, it's not that they didn't believe the Nevi'im. They didn't believe that this is the time for the Geula. That's how it's going to tie in with the subject of Zionism, right? When it's coming the time of the Geula, and people who know that you're not supposed to take the Geula before the time, they're going to be afraid when the Navi comes and says it's the time for the Geula. They're going to say, yeah, I understand your words are written in the Nevi'im, they're true words, but maybe this is not the time for those words. Because the Zionists come, they take Nevi'im out of context. They say, Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami goes on us. We're the ones rebuilding up the Geula. We're paving the way, what's it called? The Aschalta de Geula, right? So, once we have experience with that, we're going to be so traumatized that we're not going to take any chances with the Geula. Anybody who comes and says it's the Geula, no, we're not listening to you. Anyway, let's continue. So, Sukasha. Also, why didn't the Nevi'im answer? When the Jews asked the Nevi'im, how do you know this is, how can I believe you? Maybe believe the first Nevuah. Why didn't the Nevi'im answer back? There is a good answer, at least to our Tainus Knesset Israel, to answer up their question. All the answers, all the pshatim, everything's going to be revealed then. All the things that are hidden from you in the Olam Hazeh, you're going to know them all, you're going to see them all clearly in the world to come. All the more so, the Nevi'im are going to know the answers. So therefore, why shouldn't they give a good answer? That you shouldn't have any problems, any doubts about their nevuah. He says another problem is we know that Hashem knows the Galiv Yadu Lefanav Yisbarach. He knows the future, right? Hashem can tell the future. So therefore, Shelo Yikabel Yisrael Shlichus HaNevi'im. He knows that the Jews are not going to accept what the Nevi'im do when they come to comfort them. Why is Hashem making these 14 Nevi'im waste their time and go to the Jews and tell them Nechama when they're not going to accept it anyway? Just cut to the chase. Go to Nachmu. That's what they're going to accept, right? If it's the right time, if the Geula Taka came, so then Madulo Yelech HaKadosh Baruch Hu B'chvodo V'yatzmai. Hashem should go straight away. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Magi Mereishis Achris. HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows the future. So Yodea Shesoif Kosov Lo Yikavlu Ad Sheyelech Hu B'yatzmai L'Nachma. He knows that she's not going to accept it until he comes himself. So Madulo Yelech Tekef. So why doesn't he go right away? Because that's Tzarech Bir. This needs to be explained. In the words of this medrash, there must be something deeper and things that are high and difficult to understand, secrets of the Torah. We need to explain it at least as much as we can.